on a daily basis at all. Oh, I knew what was going on. And I'll tell you an interesting background story on this. So in 2009 and 2010, the World Health Organization and the Centers for Disease Control declared a fake pandemic. They already did it. It was a dress rehearsal in some respects. So what had happened, some people might remember that that was the year the swine flu was supposed to kill everybody. And there was a lot of fear about it. And people were being encouraged to get a vaccine that was developed rather quickly, not as quickly as the one for this, but developed rather quickly. And they actually said that this thing started in Mexico, so they were going to test anybody coming into the United States from Mexico, whether it would be somebody visiting from that country or coming back from a vacation or an immigrant, etc. And so an interesting thing happened after all this publicity and everything else. In about February of 2010, January, February, the CDC and the WHO said, we're so overwhelmed with swine flu cases, H1N1, that we want you to stop testing. And the reason is we just want people to focus on getting treatment. So if somebody shows up in your facility and they say that they have the sniffles or a headache or a fever or whatever it is that they're complaining about, just assume that they have H1N1 and treat them and send them on their way, all right? And I thought at the time this was very strange. And what I said, I wrote an article, and you can see in our library, it's timestamped that it was before investigative reporters got involved in this. I said, there is no epidemic. They're worried about that. So they're telling people to stop testing so they can keep the appearance of the epidemic. Well, after this whole episode was over, CBS News did an investigative, this was before the media got really lazy. They actually looked into it, and they used the Freedom of Information Act to get data from every single state health department on how many cases they had and all this sort of thing. And the bottom line is there was no epidemic. People coming in from Mexico didn't have the swine flu, the H1N1. So the bottom line was it was a manufactured epidemic. Here in the United States, nothing really bad happened except some bad publicity for people like the folks who work at the Centers for Disease Control and the FDA. A little bit of bad publicity for WHO. In Europe, it was a little bit worse. The estimate was that $18 billion got squandered worldwide on this fake pandemic. And there were some hearings and that sort of thing, but nobody really ever lost their job over it. A real interesting comment was made by Margaret Chan back then, who was the Director General of the World Health Organization. She said that pandemics are excellent opportunities. I'm paraphrasing here, but pandemics are really great opportunities to do social engineering, and we shouldn't let them go to waste. And boy, we should have paid more attention to that comment. So when this started back in March, and they were going to flatten the curve or whatever the heck they were telling everybody back in March, I knew